Hi, Natty. How are you doing? Hope you're well. Welcome in here. Yeah. I didn't even know it was Pancake Day, to be honest with you. That's out of the loop I am. I didn't even know. Nobody even told me, so I don't even care anyway, to be honest. Hello, David. How are you doing? So I was thinking about like what would be, in my opinion, like the ultimate calisthenics bicep exercise. I'm doing fine, thank you. How are you doing? And I think there's probably very few people that can actually do it. What you would have to do, instead of so imagine you're on a pull-up bar and you know how you would do chin-ups, but instead of doing a chin-up, you would do like an overhead bicep curl. I wonder if I'd have to see if there's anybody that's done that. I mean, surely people have done that before, but it's not really something I've seen done. But I think that it would be interesting to see people do that. But it's again going to be one of those exercises where being told would be a disadvantage. It would be like an overhead bicep curl, but done with body weight. But there is like body weight bicep curls, like if you use suspension straps or rings and you're doing you can change the angles to make it easier or harder to a point where you're kind of more parallel with the floor. Just do close grip pull-ups and build your lats at the same time, question mark. I was talking about if, it's more of just a feat of strength in just the biceps. I mean, hello, Joker. I mean, there is the whole thing of bicep, building your biceps from doing chin-ups. But I was just kind of wondering if anyone had actually done the overhead bicep curls the calisthenics way. I've seen the overhead bicep, in fact I actually did it myself, the overhead bicep curls using the lat pull-down machine. But there'd be different ways to do it, like say doing kind of jackknife pull-ups and instead of doing the jackknife pull-ups you would do overhead bicep curls instead. But yeah, and then you would then sort of increase the difficulty. You could have one foot on a box and then kind of work your way up, but it would be a very difficult exercise to do. Hey mate, how's it going, Abe? Mate? Yeah, sounds like an injury waiting to happen, but I would imagine circus folk are mad strong. Oh yeah, probably, yeah. Although, Blink, there's a lot of things you have to condition yourself, really. Conditioning your joints and things like that, making sure that you're not just... Hello, Bambi. Making sure that you're slowly building yourself up to it, really. Hi, yeah, how are we doing anyway? If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Let me just see if it's even done before. Body weight. Body weight. Overhead and bicep curls. Hello, the monk. How you doing? I hope you're well. So, it'd be interesting to see, if it's been done or something, the overhead bicep curl. Yeah, because I've seen, what's this? Oh, how to do an overhead bicep curl with a cable machine. I've done that one before, but hello, Parth. What's that? Welcome in, everybody. What's this? Yeah, mate, I'm doing a Donald Trump impression. Oh, goodness. Hope you're all well tonight, anyway. Welcome in. What's that? Maybe I've seen about people, using. There's different variations of pull-ups and stuff that work differently. Hello, Vic C. Yeah, it's just sometimes it can be a bit tricky to know what to look for. But it'd be interesting if I was like the first person that ever did it or something. But hello, Better Cole Hussein. How you doing? Hope you're well. I doubt. I mean, it'd probably be quite difficult to do, but yeah, I was just saying it'd be interesting if someone actually did that. The overhead bicep curl. Yeah, but the thing is, I'm over 100 kilograms. It'd be very, very difficult for me to get anywhere close to that, considering I can only curl probably not very much. Like, I'd be struggling at half that weight, basically, so... Yeah, because when I'm doing, like, the body weight bicep curls, it's like... I don't know, maybe if I did it some kind of, like, hybrid way where you're doing, say, like, a bit of support from the lats or something, but... Yeah, hello, Reluctant Gamer, how you doing? How's it going, Reluctant Gamer? We are getting the reps in the pocket. Hello, Iron Man Potential. Yeah, I am, yeah. 100 pounds. Is that in total, you mean? Is that like, I'm guessing you mean total? Because I use kilograms here, so that'd be about, what, 45 kilograms, something like that. What's the topic today? Nothing much, really. Just talking about workouts and different feats of strength and things like that. Oh, dumbbells. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, dumbbells. So is that 100-pound dumbbell is in total or each hand, or what do you mean? I mean, if it was each hand, that would be crazy. That would be like over 40 kilograms in each hand, really. But wasn't there a lot of momentum then, doing it that way? That's got to be some cheat curls, right? Like, that can't be 40-odd kilograms, surely, with good form, each hand. I'm not buying that. Yeah, I'd have to see that if you're gonna say that, yeah, because what's that? 1 or 2 reps. But still, I think there was probably some momentum going on there. But yeah, there's very few people that can actually do 100 pounds each hand for any amount of reps with any kind of good form. Yeah, I've tried using resistance bands and stuff, but I haven't used them for a while. I actually snapped one of them. I used this Gemini, I was stuck at 26 kilogram dumbbell press and used 12 times 16 kilogram, 4 times 22 kilogram, and then 8 times 28 kilograms, and it worked. Okay. So why did you drop down to 4 reps on the 22 kilograms and then go back up to, and then go up to 8 reps on 28 kilograms? Okay. Oh, you use bands, oh yeah. The regulars, yeah, well, the hell? Yeah, a lot of those people I don't talk to anymore. Yeah, some of those people I don't talk to anymore. I thought you knew about that. I thought you knew that I don't talk to some of those people. What's going on? Is that really Reluctant Gamer? Or is it some troll or something? Hello, Sonu Kumar. What is consciousness? Good question. I would say it has to do with awareness. Yeah, so when you're self-aware, then I would say that's consciousness. But everyone's got their own interpretation. But that's my opinion anyway. What's your thoughts on it? What do you think consciousness is? drop down in reps when you go up in weight. Yeah, definitely. I would say that's probably a good idea. Yeah, drop in weight as you go up. So drop in reps as you go up in weight. That's kind of how I would do it anyway, usually. A lot has changed around here. I thought I told you about the Jace situation. Did you just forget or something? Didn't you know that I kind of just don't talk to him anymore? Because 16 kg activation was like a warm-up set, right? Suppose. Yeah. Yeah, nervous system activation. Yeah, sometimes I go light at the beginning just to kind of get warmed up. Like, what can be good is, like, if you're warming up for pull-ups, start off with, like, scapular pull-ups or something like that to try and warm up the lats. And warm up the, also, like, things like the, the scapula. Warming up the different muscles so that you can get blood flowing into it, so then you can more efficiently do it, the reps after that. Whereas if you try and go straight into it, also you're more likely to get injured, aren't you, if you don't? Yeah. Yeah. Dynamic warm up. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good. And dead hanging can be a good one for warm ups as well. But yeah, they're doing some like scap pull ups, or maybe even doing like some assisted pull-ups at the start to get yourself ready, maybe doing jackknife pull-ups or something like that. With jackknife pull-ups are basically, it's like a low bar pull-up where you have your feet kind of on the floor and you're just lifting with your upper body. So it takes some of the weight out of it, and depending on how you can bend your legs to give yourself some assistance. And that can be good for beginners who are struggling. Some people might struggle with pull-ups. Hello, Jamie. Hello, Jerry. Oh, you only made £6.70. Oh, no, that's not very much, is it? Yeah, I was thinking about, oh, you're out all day. That's not good. I was thinking about doing some busking again, but yeah, just can be a bit shit some days, can't it? What's that? One underhand pull-up, more bicep. I can do 6 times. Normal pull-up. Only 2? Oh, really? Yeah, that must mean that you have a lot of strength in your biceps, I'm guessing. Because it's not usually that much of a difference. Like, usually people, yeah, they might be a bit better on chin-ups or whatever, but that might mean that your back is a bit kind of lagging, possibly. Yeah. I think that's a sign that, yeah, hello, Almanac Mark. I guess everyone's different, but is it possible that you're relying too much on biceps, so then when you're trying to do regular pull-ups, you're struggling more, perhaps? I don't know. Oh, really? 5K? Oh, really? 5K, the natural Greek yogurt? Oh, really? Oh, that's good then. That's good to hear. Hello, Orion Ban. Okay. I tried to do a single arm pull up. Unfortunately, I can't pull up, so I have. Most I've done is 3 sets of 12. I normally average 4 sets of 8. Last time I done them 3 times 3. Oh, cool. Hello, Venom. How you doing? Good to see you. How's your workouts going? Yeah. Feeling a little bit of burning. I was doing some stuff earlier, but yeah. Doing bits of things really, but yeah, I'm just trying to just stick at the workouts and stuff, but to keep getting stronger and stuff. But yeah, there's this thing about like neurodiversity, especially like autism, and how maybe it's one of the autistic symptoms is that if you're into like calisthenics and skill training, then that might be a sign that you're autistic or something, because of the whole hyper focus thing. It's like you can really get deeply focused into something, and that could be a sign of. And then I know, like, they'll say, oh, but they're saying everyone's on the spectrum now. All or nothing, huh? Yeah, that's the mindset that I have with a lot of things. It's like I either go all in or I don't at all. Like, I'm either very fickle or I'm very committed to something. Like, there's no in between with me. Yeah. Hello, Kat. How you doing? Hope you're well. Oh, yeah, what is that nasty? What, you are you, or something? I have ADHD as icing on my autism, so I just hyper-focus on everything except what I should do. Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? Yeah, that's the issue, that sometimes we don't focus on what we should be. We end up focusing on a bunch of less important tasks that don't actually matter as much, but then you can end up neglecting important things. I can't even afford the heating. That's not good. It's alright. I know it's a lot of overthinking and stuff. But do you ever practice meditation? Because that's something that I think can potentially help. But then again, people with ADHD, they might struggle to even get to a state of meditation. But I think workouts can be a good one to focus your mind on, something to get yeah. But it's just the whole thing of finding workouts that are beneficial for ADHD, for example, because they might struggle with like the bodybuilding style workouts where it's all very robotic and having a set number of reps, a set number of time to recover between each set, and it just I think it just takes the fun out of training if you're training that way, personally. I like to mix things up, try different things. Sometimes I'll just try some skill stuff at times and just mess around, be a bit spontaneous. That's how I like to train, really. I like to just keep changing things up and see, but I'll keep some similar things, like there's a certain pattern, but it's not totally rigid. I like to kind of go into it where I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do it, and I just kind of, go intuitively what I feel like doing. Oh yeah, powerlifting. I mean, yeah, powerlifting. Have you heard of street lifting? So street lifting is like weighted dips, pull-ups, and squats, I believe. So yeah, it's more about kind of it's kind of like a hybrid between calisthenics and powerlifting, I guess. Yeah, the ADHD wants novelty, the autism wants routine. Now that's the kind of conflict. So I was talking to someone about this earlier, and he says that he might have ADHD as well as autism, but I was saying how they can conflict with each other. So if you have both, then it's like there's this whole thing of hyperfixation, but then that hyperfixation can then be replaced with something else, like the novelty wears off, and then it's like it gets boring. So you might want the novelty, but then after a bit you're like, no, I want some new novelty. So you know what I mean? Yeah. Have I seen what? Sorry. It's better to train within a period, and I have found stick to exactly the same workout until you get to a point you cannot get any better, then change it. Oh, really? Yeah, that's probably, I guess that's, I don't know, I just personally, I train how I want to train. I'm not training in a specific way because, that's the most optimal way to train. I train how I feel like training, basically, is what I do. Some people can say things are suboptimal. I don't give a fuck. I'm not, it's like, to me, what's optimal is what you can stick to, This is the thing with the science-based lifting bullshit, is that while you could argue certain things might give slightly more stimulation to certain muscles or blah, 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 stimulus to fatigue ratio, but it's like, unless you're like a professional bodybuilder, then you probably don't have to worry too much about that. Like, it just ends up muddying the waters, confuses the hell out of people, and then they don't even know what to do. They end up with like analysis paralysis, and that's the thing that can stop people from even trying. Now, you could argue some of these people have actually helped people get started. I think the problem is that a lot of people need clarity, and I think there's that thing of, especially like maybe people with autism, they need clarity, right? They need to know that what they're doing is going to work in order for them to invest time. But I think we should just be all about trying to find a workout that we actually enjoy rather than just doing it because of trying to achieve a certain result. We should be trying to just find a routine that we can actually enjoy. That doesn't mean you have to like go to failure on every single set. You do it in a way that you enjoy, that feels good. Because then you'll be more likely to do it again. Like, you don't have to like completely destroy your legs on a day and then like not struggle to even walk the next day. I mean, you don't have to do that. You find a way that you find a balance that fits with your lifestyle. That's fun for you. Maybe some people, they want to do rock climbing or something. Maybe, I don't know, like ride a bike up a big hill. That's gonna get your legs, working. You don't have to become a huge guy. As long as you're fit and healthy, then who gives a fuck, But this whole obsession over aesthetics can get a bit much, can't it, When, in some cases, people would sacrifice their health in order to become like a bodybuilder. Because when you train like a bodybuilder, you're probably not going to have good endurance and cardio, which are actually a lot of important, things about fitness, is being able to have good stamina and good cardio. Otherwise, you're not really fit, in my opinion. You're just a jacked bodybuilder who has specific strength in certain things, especially a lot of them just use a lot of machines and stuff. So they don't even have functional strength, a lot of them. Like, put them in a real life scenario where they're having to balance things. A lot of them can't do it. A lot of people can't even pistol squat. Pistol squats are tough because it's not just about the strength. A lot of them have the strength to do it, but it's the stability that a lot of them don't have. So you can get someone friggin' squatting 100 kilograms, 200 kilograms, right? But they can't even pistol squat. They can't squat on one leg because they haven't built that stability. Or they might not even be able to do sissy squats or something because they haven't built the stability. They might not even be able to do ring push-ups or something like that because they haven't built that. I'm not saying you have to do it all the time, but I think it's good to have some, like a mixture of different things in there. Improved stability, coordination, all sorts of things like proprioception training, I think would be good as well. What's this? So I just do what I feel, just do what I do, but I'm consistent. Exactly. Consistency is the most important thing. Consistency is key for success in whatever, as long as you're doing something good, then it's going to compound over time. It's like you pay dividends over the long run. Like if you work hard on a business that you enjoy, even if you say, oh, well, it's not the most lucrative of businesses, let's say, but what's the most important thing is that if it's something that you can stick at, then and if you're going to work hard at it, you can get results. Hang on a second. What's going on with this chat? So yeah, hang on. Sorry, I missed some comments there, but hello, Bedoik. No, I don't play rugby. I've done a lot of BMX and motorcycling. Oh yeah. Yeah, I saw you doing the pistol squats, yeah. Yeah, if you hold the weight, it does help with the balance. It's the same with Cossack squats and stuff, because some people struggle with the balance. I've actually started trying to do the friggin', what they call it, the Cossack pistol squat. And I'll try and see if I can do it, but my hips a bit kind of got a little bit sore kind of from doing it. Because I'm doing it last night. And I'll see if I can do it. Gucci, how's it going? Hope you're well. So this is the Cossack pistol squat. See if I can. It kind of looks like this. Ooh. Kind of like that, yeah. Ooh. But feel it there because there's muscles being worked. Oh. looking at different angles. Yeah. Oh yeah, 225, that was a while ago. I don't know how many I could do now, but yeah. Are you still there, Venom? What was your name again? I forgot what you were called, but... Hello, Reci Pexlol. Hello, 3 Light Traveller. Iron Cross. No, I was actually looking into that earlier. Never tried it. I don't think I'd be able to do it, but it takes quite a lot of stability and coordination to be able to do it. But that's something I would probably like to try and do at some point. I know Gravity Core Fitness can do it. But yeah, it's... yeah, you could try and do it on rings, but it's... Yeah, I've not really done much on rings. I do TRX, but rings are actually even harder apparently because of even more instability. Like, because of more freedom of movement on rings. Because moving in all directions, it's a bit of a... Yeah. Hang on. How do you think England will turn out in the next, 5 years or so? I've been looking into the immigration issue, was wondering what your views are on what do you think should be done. Yeah, so, I mean, as far as I'm aware, we're something called it ECHR. So until we come out of that, then I don't think anything's going to get done. Yeah, how you doing, Joshua? Hang on a second. Alright, Natty. Oh yeah, classical music's good, yeah. Hello, Big C. Oh, good. How is it with these comments, Okay. Well, anyway. Hope you've all had a good day, everybody. Share this out if you can. Who's still in the live? But yeah, just like I said, also mobility is as well something important to train. It's not everything you do with your workout should all be about building muscle, in my opinion. There should probably be some conditioning work and people are so obsessed with, this exercise isn't optimal for building muscle. Well, sometimes it's good to do some exercises that aren't optimal for building muscle because they might have other benefits. It's the thing is, right, it's kind of embarrassing when you see some guy who's massive and jacked, but then because he's been doing a bunch of machines and kind of not building functional strength, that he's I've seen this video of where there was this guy who was the giant bodybuilder versus some kind of guy who looked skinny compared to him, and were handling all this weight it's some kind of handyman type of person where they're having to carry a bunch of weight, but these bodybuilders haven't really built that kind of functional strength. So it kind of looks a bit embarrassing when happens. It's kind of like when a bodybuilder tries to get into tries to fight some, skinnier guy who's more advanced with his training and stuff, and they get humbled by that. Yeah, I mean, politics is, it's just all a bit of a mess, isn't it, really? Yeah, it's all a bit of a mess, really. For bodybuilders, it gets to a point where the muscle is just for show rather than actual strength. Exactly.
You know, that's the thing, is that they're only strong in specific circumstances. They don't have real world strength. They only have strength when it comes to a certain, rep range with, like, say, equipment that's very, kind of like, like almost like robotic, kind of, in a way. Like, it's very fixed movement path, not, translate into real world strength. So yeah, it's so that's the problem. So like free weights or body weight, calisthenics sort of stuff is actually, I would say, superior to a lot of the machine stuff. Like, they're focusing on making the exercise as stable as possible, but just to try and build a bunch of unfunctional muscle, like you said, just for show. I think that, it's, if you're going to have all that muscle, then you want to be able to do something with it. I think, like, people like Atlas Power Shrug would be a good example of someone who's built the muscle but also is able to be quite strong with it, and to make the most out of the muscle and stuff. Because, like, I've seen him doing some quite things like such as Zercher deadlifts and Zercher squats and things like that. I mean, I need to probably learn some of that stuff, because I'd say it's probably more functional. Because if you think about, like, when you're to like carry, say, like a bunch of like heavy bags in your, you're going to be training your it's a different way of training. It's like a sort of isometric kind of bicep sort of strength, isn't it? It's sort of like putting an isometric load onto your biceps, basically. So there might be some function to doing things like Zerchers and stuff, in terms of it, correlating to more functional stuff. Anyway, not too bad, thank you. How about you? Thank you. Thank you. Who's this? Vlam Junior. Thank you. Thank you for the likes, everybody. Hit that like button if you haven't already. So yeah, just doing more some people do like sandbag training and stuff like that for more kind of functional training. Some people get triggered at that word and think that, oh, well, it's blah, blah, blah. It's like saying, oh, all movements are functional. Well, I mean, you could argue that lifting on machines is functional for the case of building muscle, just for vanity purposes. But in terms of real life function, what good is a bunch of just dead weight that isn't, actually good for any real life strength? Now, someone was arguing that you could build your base up with, like, say, doing heavy machine stuff, but then doing functional stuff like free weights and stuff like that afterwards. I don't know how long it takes to transition from that, because it's almost like you'd have to relearn everything again. So I've seen a case where someone who would have been used to doing, say, like heavy, stuff on, say, like a Smith machine or something, but then they come to trying to use free weights, and then they lose their balance and, almost end up having an accident or something. I mean, how long does it take to, like, adjust to that? That could take months or so, building up that balance and that, stability, in order to, say, do heavy, free weight squats. Because, some of them might even struggle with just light weight of squats, and because they haven't built that functional. I know I keep using that word functional, but yeah. Be interesting to see, like, how long would it take to build that up from, say, doing, if you train all the time with machines, if
you only train with machines, how long does it take to get strong with free weights once you change over something like that? I mean, Jamie's spokesperson, what you're saying? I feel so stupid I realise that I need to love myself first. Am I a prick? Well, I just said on a video that that loving yourself first is important. Well, according to this, it says 2 to 6 weeks, apparently, significant gains in stability and load capacity appearing within 8 to 12 weeks. Saying while machines build muscle effectively, free weights require increased stabilization and coordination. So, now you could argue that you could build up with machines, but it doesn't seem like these people have any sort of, I don't know, like interest in. But it's not just about stability, but just in terms of functional movements and stuff. Building strength in functional ways, things such as using ranges of motion that maybe bodybuilders wouldn't use, or things like that. But yeah, like stability can be something that apparently doesn't necessarily take that long to get used to. Because someone was saying about like with ring push-ups and stuff, that takes a bit of an adjustment period, but then you build those stabilizers to be able to do it. So, but yeah, it's also things like I said, like more like mobility stuff and stretching into extreme positions and stuff like that. I think it's important to have a well-rounded balance of fitness. Also, like having good cardio is an important thing, you know. Okay. Fish walking. Wait, fish walking, what do you mean? Fish. Oh, you have autism, do you? Everyone okay? No, I remember someone saying that if an exercise is too unstable, that it can decrease max force output or something. But it depends how unstable it is, I guess. But some people use like ring push-ups and things like that as a way to progress and be able to. But there can be benefits to doing that in terms of the freedom of movement, being able to do things such as. I actually tried this with dumbbells, actually, where you would try to roll them out, but it can be a bit awkward to do that. I just find that, yeah, rings are good because you can twist them, you can do different kind of, you can go from like pronation to neutral grip or whatever. Like there's a lot of variety that you could do with it. Hello, Andrea. Good to see you. How are you doing? So you can do a whole bunch of things like changing your position and stuff, going in and out, and then twisting round and stuff. But yeah, so I do like TRX, but I might at some point try to use rings or something. But rings are a bit harder apparently because, like I said, they're even more unstable. Making supper. Oh yeah. Oh cool. Yeah, what are you having? But yeah, not everything has to be about bodybuilding. And also, people are worried about
oh, if I do, say, cardio, it's going to kill my gains. But, you know, it's like if you're worried about, you know, like, oh, you know, I'm going to lose gains in cardio, then I think that's a bit misleading. I mean, it's good. It's more down to the amount of cardio. In fact, doing some gentle cardio, even just walking, getting your steps in, or doing steady state cardio can actually be a good way to recover from your training, because you can actually get more blood into the muscles, which can aid recovery. It can also help to get lactic acid out of the muscles as well, to just help you to feel, you know, more fresh. Whereas if you're just kind of doing your bodybuilding stuff and then not actually doing anything to kind of, you know, recover, like doing any active recovery. I think passive recovery is good, like obviously getting enough sleep and stuff. I've actually found that meditation's a really good one as well. Like if I'm feeling like, you know, kind of like I don't necessarily go completely to sleep, but I just have like a kind of some time out where I just kind of drift off a little bit and just kind of go into a sort of like, you know, where I'm just not overstimulated, and I can just kind of switch off. I just switch off the devices, or just kind of stop using them and just kind of just chill and just not be thinking about anything. Just close my eyes, just kind of just kind of ease off and just yeah. And I find that, you know, if I do that for a few minutes, maybe sometimes I even go up to half an hour to an hour even at times I've had, and then I just feel sometimes more fresh after doing that. Like the inflammation goes down. It's like the recovery's already started. Adele, those skeleton men, York, England. So it's like, yeah, I can, you know, get, you know, more workouts done, because I can just, once I've like, you know, I do a workout one day and then I can sometimes be ready to go again the next day. Like right now I'm not really feeling too bad. I feel like I'm almost recovered already from stuff I did earlier, but I could probably do a bit more stuff later actually. So it's just kind of, I actually tried doing pull-ups on a tree branch. So as they say, where there's a will, there's a way, you know. People are like, oh, I don't have any equipment to do workouts on. Well, you could find ways to improvise. But I did do something a bit stupid last night. I actually jammed my bathroom door shut, because I tried putting my jacket in there, and then I couldn't get the door open for ages. And then, yeah, I was talking to a mate about it and said, oh, why don't you try, you know, like pressing the door handle down and then kind of like pressing against the door or something like that, and then that kind of like released it. But it's not good. No, here on my own. It's a big world. There are no creatures or any type of weird nonsense. Still just an unrealistic situation which needs to be solved. But when I start conversation and get some weird, what do you mean? What are you saying? Yeah, I'm just like, see what, I don't know, it's just sometimes the chat can be a bit sort of stupid sometimes, so yeah. Well, I'm reading yours now. What she's saying, are you going to read your chat? Hello Slim Jim, how you doing? I hope you're well. Well, I read the chat if it's stimulating and actually engaging. Sometimes the chat is just a bunch of nonsense. You used to be a misogynist. Oh, what? Well, you shouldn't be a misogynist. Yeah. So it's good that you're not one now. But there's a lot of like misandry as well nowadays, isn't there? I would say. There's misogyny, there's misandry. It's almost like they want men and women to be against each other, you know? Like they want the races against each other. They want everyone against each other from whatever different groups of people, you know. Did I say I was ignoring everybody? I mean, I'm just like, if you have anything you want to talk about, then you know, maybe you can like at my name so I can prioritize your messages or something. Because yeah, misandry is the reaction to misogyny. Well, two wrongs don't make a right, you know. Is how I see it. You know, it's not an excuse to bash on men because some are bad. It would be like being misogynistic because of misandry. It's just stupid, you know. It's like I get that there's this whole thing of hurt people, but men are saying that they're doing it because women have hurt them, you know. But it's like, but not all women are like that, you know, either. So you get these men who become players. Some say that some men become players is because they've been burnt, and then some women become, you know, like some men call them 3 or 4s because they got burnt or something. So it's like, just because you got burnt by somebody doesn't mean that. It's like you have to take responsibility. I talked about this earlier. Like when it comes to like people holding grudges, right? You have to, you know, sort of like, you know, be a better person. Just kind of not let it taint you. You know, don't let it make you bitter and what have you. Just take the lesson and just move on. Yeah, cause and effect. Yeah. I mean, but it's like there's no reason to hurt others that they didn't do anything. Like, so you say, oh well, people are, but women misandry because men are like toxic or whatever. But it's like, well, not every man's toxic. There's a lot of good men out there, but you know. But you could say that in some cases, a lot of these women who are like that, they might have had bad choices in men, possibly, and they went for the bad boys in a lot of cases. They got excited by the bad boy that just ended up using them, instead of going for just a good guy who, you know, yeah, he might not have been as good looking or whatever, or he might not have had the same level of kind of, you know, mysteriousness about him, but he would have been a more kind of, you know, safer bet or whatever, and he would have been a lot more loyal. So some of it can come down to like just not giving yourself up too quickly and just having certain standards and having certain boundaries and things. Yeah. So that's what I say, is it's about, but yeah, it's, a lot of it's just that they get excited by the guys who, I don't know, it's the whole thing of like, not saying all women do this again, it's that or these modern women who are just kind of, like, they just want to, I don't know, seems like a lot of them just want to fuck around. I mean, a lot of them don't seem to be interested in dating anymore. They just want to get a bunch of free attention and then, yeah, string a bunch of men along. But then also a lot of men will do the same thing as well. Like they'll just, you know, if they actually have options, that is anyway, that they'll just kind of pretend to be like really into one, love bomb and all that kind of shit, just to then leave them out to dry. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there is a subjectivity to it, but like, there are certain people that are going to be more likely to be seen as attractive, like Brad Pitt, or, I mean, Jack Black would be kind of, yeah, because I guess that you could say in terms of like their body and stuff like that, but none of them would be, I don't think, objectively ugly by anybody. I don't think hardly anybody would say that they're ugly. Whereas there's some guys out there that are, like, I'd have to think of some example, but there's some guys out there that would just be quite grotesque looking, to be honest, that very, very few people would actually be attracted to. That's just the unfortunate reality, you know? There is some people out there that have it really hard. Like, some people might have disfigurements and all sorts of things wrong with them. So while there might be a certain subjectivity to it, I don't think very many people are going to say that any of those people, Tom Cruise or whatever, are ugly. I mean, I don't think I've, heard anyone say that any of those people would be ugly, even if they're not their type, but like, they're not gonna, they're going to be more, like if you took an average of like how they were rated, they're going to be rated much more highly than say like some really like, obese person who's, or if they've got some deformities or something like that. That's just the kind of harsh reality, that people, like can be quite shallow sometimes. We are visual creatures, so it does make sense that we want something that we think looks good, because I think I saw something like sight makes up something like about 80% of our information that we are getting from the world. Now you could argue that a lot of information comes from things like body language and stuff like that, but in terms of like the immediate kind of like impression, it's looks, it's hard to kind of, so it's just one of those things. And yeah, there is some people who don't really care too much about looks, but my point is that there's a lot of guys who would be considered as like quote-unquote alpha males, but some of that could just be down to the fact that they got a lot of confidence when they were growing up, because they were given a lot of compliments and things like that, and that led them to kind of have that positive feedback loop where they had more confidence and more swag because of that, which led to them getting even better reactions and even more confidence and swag. Whereas the ones who didn't get dealt a good hand, maybe they were a bit autistic, maybe they just didn't, look so good or whatever, and they were getting, worse reactions, like especially if they were bullied about, say, certain attributes or something, like someone might have had some deformity, like some kind of disfigurement, or maybe they had a skin condition or whatever it might be, and they were bullied for that, and that could affect their self-esteem. But it's important that you work on these things so that you don't let it affect you when you're older. But yeah, what's that? Who's the toxic one? What you saying? Yeah, I'm alright, Matt. Hello, Lucas. How you doing? But do you ever just sit and not think too much? Often I just sit and my thoughts are very light. Yeah, like I said, if I'm just like close my eyes and just kind of, that can be, just help me get into a more meditative state and just allow my thoughts to just flow instead of really sort of stressing over certain thoughts and just, you know what I mean? What are you on about? No, I don't read the Bible now. No, I'm not a religious person. Yeah. But there are some people who are not religious who've read the Bible just to kind of see if, because they're open-minded, and some people have said that they read the Bible and it even made them even more sure that it wasn't the reality or something. So it's one of those things that, yeah. Hello, what's that? Umberto Stanley. Not much really. I just what do I do for a living? I'm a busker.
I'm gonna get back into it soon. So yeah, I want to get back into the busking stuff because I do enjoy doing that sometimes, and kind of it does get me out of the house and get me sort of into the public. Yeah, is everyone okay? Hope you're all well tonight, everybody. Hello, Stargazer. Good to see you. Yeah, I don't perform on here really. But any bullshit, you're just gonna get, out the live because I saw you were putting some bullshit last night. So I'm 30 years old. Yeah. Welcome in, everybody. Hope you've had a great day. Yeah. No, I'm not married. No, I'm single. Hello, Swedish. Okay. Okay. Just get rid of any nonsense there. I hope everyone's well. Yeah. Hello, Umberto. Yeah, you okay? Might have to restart this soon, guys. Yeah, I don't know. It's gone quiet, but maybe it's my fault. Maybe I should be interacting more. But sometimes I get on certain tangents and I need my time to kind of just have a rant, and sometimes I end up missing some comments. You know what I mean? I feel like I don't like to get kind of sidetracked and kind of distracted from what I'm saying. I like to just kind of keep it flowing. So sometimes I'll be like on some rant for a few minutes, and then a whole bunch of comments have come up and I miss some of it. I'm not meaning to like ignore people or anything, it's just but sometimes also, like I said, that sometimes people can get quite annoying and yeah, singing and stuff. I don't have any pets now. Channels just kind of like, we just do talks on different things and stuff, just philosophies, things like that, as well as around kind of things like self-improvement, stoicism, all that sort of stuff really. But yeah, no, I don't watch cricket now. Yeah, anyway. Alright, I don't know what's going on, but yeah. No, not right now. I'm gonna probably restart the live, everybody, so I'll see you. Hang on. Yeah, I'm British. Yeah, I'm doing a restart, guys.